Hello, everybody. As you may or may not have known, I'm Urowen. My life, well, if you would have asked me years ago that they were making something like this about me, I probably would have laughed at you. My life, a story, but here I am, sitting here, telling you about me now. Well, what is there to say? I grew up in Sunset Valley, small, quaint, nice, peaceful town. Very little bad things happened. I mean, there was the occasional robberies, and, bar fights that got out of control. But, I mean, what town didn't have these things? My parents, oh, may they rest in peace, passed away not too long ago. When they were alive, they taught me many things. They raised me to know right and wrong, how to treat strangers, and how to be nice to people in general. Hell, they taught me how to stand up to my enemies, the few that I made. But it was in my early teen years I started to become more me. Grew up around, 50% women. What raging hormone teenager isn't gonna want to find romance in that? And romance, I did not find. No matter how much I tried and tried. Maybe I was friend zoned. Maybe they looked at me as a brother. I don't know. What I do know is I would love to find romance in my life, but with the passing of my parents and everything that is going on now, I don't see that in the cards just yet. My parents had died out on vacation. They went to go hunt to go see llamas in their natural habitat. This town has got some crazy ideas about llamas. I don't understand it. But my parents fell into the loop. They wanted to go see this elusive creature, and unfortunately found out that they are viciously territorial. I remember the day before my father left, when he was telling me they were going on vacation. He took me to our favorite fishing spot. I loved fishing. I still do. He taught me how to do it. Showed me how much fun it can be just sitting there on the beach, flailing a fishing rod over the edge, maybe drinking a few beers, even though we never told Mom those parts. But when the news came, I had been talking about moving out, starting my life as it was. I just didn't expect it to happen like this. At the will hearing, I found out my parents had left me most of the money that they'd saved up. Whatever didn't go to some of my estranged family members all around the world. I ended up getting $16,000, just over, actually. And I decided with this, I was going to find a place, settle down, and start working towards the career I've always wanted. I love helping people. I love making sure everyone's safe, everyone's happy. I want to be a surgeon. That's my dream. I don't want anybody to lose parents like I had to. I want to be able to revive someone from a llama attack or whatever may happen. Over the course of the next week or so, after the will and everything had been finalized, and I officially felt my mourning period was done, I decided it's time to find my own house. I couldn't live in my parents' house anymore. There was just too many memories. And that's when I saw it. There was this quaint, one bedroom, one bath apartment. The picture in the newspaper was just, it looked beautiful. It was perfect. It seemed like it was calling to me. The price, however, called more towards my wallet. And having very little to my name in furnishings, most of being liquidated to pay off debts. And for the will, purposes of the will, this place left me with just a few $100s in my pocket. 200 and some, actually. But it came fully furnished, so I figured I could survive on that. I'll get work, I'll start surviving. Not a problem. So, as I took that taxi ride down to Water Lily Lane, number 72, that's when I saw it come into view. Not a bad looking house for one bedroom. Nice little overhang above the door, somewhere where I can stand and when it rains. The approach was nice. I didn't notice it at first, but in the back there's a driveway, so maybe, I can get a car. Won't have to pay this taxi man that smelled oddly like garlic. The walls were nice. Windows looked good. My body was shaking. I've never been so nervous in my life. Up until this point, I've lived with my parents. This is the first time I've even considered what it would be like to be alone, to live alone, to be on my own. My fingers clenched as I walked up to the door. I don't know who I was expecting to answer, but still, maybe out of reflex, maybe out of hopes that it wasn't just an empty house, I rapped my knuckles against the wood. It echoed, bouncing off the walls in the room. No one answered. I knew at that moment that I was, in fact, alone. Still shaking, trying to be brave, I pushed the key into the lock, unlocked the door, and entered. When I entered, I was welcomed by a pretty modern sight, all things considered. The dark tones, the grays, it almost fit with my mood. It made it feel more alone and yet comfortable at the same time. Although there was no television, I couldn't watch the news or whatever, but, beggars really can't be choosers, and, well, if I didn't have this house, I would probably be a beggar out on the streets. No, I can't think like that. The money that my parents had left me, I would have been smart about it. I need to remember what my mom told me. Keep your nose up. It doesn't matter the boogers that hang out. As long as you keep your head up, keep looking towards the sky, nothing can ever go too wrong. It's times like this I miss my mother. But I also knew I needed to explore this place a little more. I needed to know everything that I had. I needed to make sure I knew where I was, what was here, get comfortable with this place, this crypt almost. I continued on. not knowing what to expect, but knowing I had to face this. Almost on cue, my stomach grumbled as I turned the corner and saw the kitchen. Small, semicircular, not a table to be seen. Well, growing up, eating in a dining room, it's gonna be hard to be able to sit in the living room and actually eat. Most kids would find that is dream come true. Not me. Something about it felt wrong. It felt improper. But I gotta keep reminding myself, this isn't home. This isn't my old home. This is new. I need to stop thinking of the past. I need to stop thinking of what the way things used to be. Now is a new life. I am a new Urowen. I'm on my own. I make my own rules, make my own decisions, and from this point on, I push my life to be the best that I can be. The more I seemed to explore this place, the more it seemed to grow on me. Soon I started finding these dark grays, dismal colors to fit not just my mood that I've been in since I've got here, but it felt like the house was built to grow with me. I walked into the small, cramped bathroom, just a shower sitting in the corner and toilet in the opposite side. I figured, well, I'm the alpha dog here now. Really, I'm the only dog here, but I think it's time to mark my territory. So I took care of a little business. I figured I'd leave the house, the best room of the house, or at least the most important room, for last. Hopefully, this room will be a nice, relaxing room I can go to. I turned around and headed for the bedroom, the last place I needed to see. Here we go. As if my prayers had been answered when I walked into the room, even though it shared the same color scheme as the rest of the house. I felt something relaxing as I passed through the doorway. Something about this being definitely my favorite room in the house. The bed looked comfortable, simple, yet inviting. The two lamps on either side of the bed, although would be quite annoying to shut off, having to roll over from one side to the other. I very well may just keep one off at all times. I don't know yet. We'll see. But this house, it started growing on me already. As I sat on my bed, just thinking, wondering, where do I go from here? Do I dive right in? Do I start scouring the town, finding some kind of job, maybe a part-time job, something to help pay my way until I sit down with my career? No. Today has been exciting enough. And although the money in my pocket wasn't very much, I knew today I needed to celebrate. I needed to pay my respects to my parents, and more importantly, pay my respects to myself. Deciding I needed to get out, that I've explored the house, I figured I can go to my father's favorite fishing spot, cast the line a couple times, wait for later in the afternoon, and maybe go out and celebrate. That's always made me feel better. Nothing like a party to make you smile when you want to sit down and cry, right? I started rustling through my head, trying to think of all the clubs. and all the bars around town where I could go, where I could spend my evening. I grabbed my fishing gear, my cell phone, called the taxi. As of today, my life starts now.